Alexander Payne's downsizing is a tour de force. Everyone pretty much knows that coming in, i.e., when you sit in a movie house where a whole alternative society has been created for humans 5 inches tall, you jolly well know you're going to see amazing things. And so you do. Especially when you see the two human worlds coexisting side by side, the mini-world and the full-size world of the rest of us who are heedlessly consuming so many of the world's resources. Overpopulation and depleting resources are the reasons that Norwegian scientists invented their human shrinking technique in the first place. It's the ultimate way to decrease all our gruesome human damage to our environment, minimize our drain on resources, and we give our species another chance. People rush to do it, but bandaging a wounded world isn't the main reason, wealth is. In a shrunken world, the wealth you bring with you has exploded. You're allowed to own so much more and to be worth so much more. A personal fortune of $152,000 translates to $12.5 million for the rest of your life among the many people. Meanwhile, you're only consuming 0.364% of the personal volume you once did. Such are the advantages of shrinking yourself to 5 inches. How could middle-class people resist it? They can't. So there they are, a couple played by Matt Damon and Kristen Wiig, egged on into downsizing by an old friend played by Jason Sudeikis, who has made the great leap into a fraction of himself. Okay, the human attraction to miniatures is primal. Have you ever watched small children so unavoidably aware of their size differences from us adults when they encounter tiny dollhouse versions of the world? They're entranced. So is the audience for downsizing, especially with the juicy satire on human acquisitiveness that goes with it. In Payne's world, we're coddled into thinking evil has been banished. If your first thought was that such size differentials would allow those larger to use their size to crush the downsized and take all their worldly wealth and goods, guess again. Somehow this noble world seems to continue to flow from a desire to cure overpopulation, not to plunder. A small hitch develops with our couple, though. At the last second, the occupational therapist's wife decides, not for me. I am staying big. I won't tell you the exact moment that did it, but it's gloriously in keeping with the terrific satiric world that Payne and his writing partner Jim Taylor previously invented in Sideways and Election. Those are the visual wonders you absorb gleefully in the first half of Downsizing. And then something truly remarkable happens in this movie halfway through. It remembers the existence of poverty and suffering and injustice in the world. Our hero, the occupational therapist, Matt Damon, now alone among decadent friends, led by Christoph Waltz, is drawn into the life and neighborhood of a Vietnamese heroine, Hong Chow, who was shrunk as punishment for political dissidents. He discovers that some of his old earthly occupational abilities can now be employed to alleviate great suffering. Downsizing plays a beautiful, wildly unexpected movie house game of bait and switch on its audience.